Hey, and welcome to this edition of Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Roberson. Now behind me is one of those typical automobiles we like to call sporty, and more specifically the 2015 Audi A3. Now it's been out for decades, but what this does is give it a kind of a new facelift. Now they haven't reinvented the Audi wheel here, giving it just a little bit more tweaks. Really the best part maybe be the innovation on the inside. Now we're going to take a quick look inside and see how this really stacks up against the premium small sedan market. Now for 2015, Audi really hasn't reinvented the design wheel here on the A3, kind of holding true to their design elements. Now really after 50 plus feet, it's really going to be hard to tell this vehicle apart from the A4 and even the A6. But what Audi is banking on is really delivering this compact sedan premium vehicle to the market, really competing with the likes of Mercedes and BMW. Now again, there's a lot of styling similarities here between the A3 and the A4, but really size being kind of the big difference. About 10 inches shorter here on the A3. Now by the numbers, it's measuring in about 173 inches with a very short 103.8 inch wheelbase. Now what that equates to is, of course, compact numbers. Now compared to the A4, that's going to give you a little bit more room, and of course has upgraded to the bigger sibling. Now what I like with the design again on the Audi A3 here is really when you swing around to the back. Now it has its own distinct rear tail lights, and I like the fact that it doesn't have that added spoiler. It's actually built into that rear trunk lid, giving a lot more sleeker design. Now it's been years since my test drive behind the wheel of the Audi TT, but really this A3 harnessed the same sporty feel, really due to that Quattro-like grip at the corners. Now overall the design has a great body color like essence. Everywhere you look, down to the handles, to the mirrors, is body color with just a hint of chrome, which I'm a big fan of. The only way you're going to find it is here around the windows, and of course on those Olympic-like rings making up the Audi emblem. Now when you swing around to the wheels, I like it. It's a brushed kind of aluminum look, that 5-spoke open wheel like design, and these are sitting on 17-inch wheels. Now last but not least is really the overall height is going to be about the same as the Audi A4, along with the width, making it all somewhat the same getting inside for this 6+ like frame, meaning I'll have to drop and roll to get inside this vehicle. Now from the side, this vehicle looks like any other Audi, somewhat sleek and non-menacing, but once you sweep around to the front end, that's where this has the biggest and baddest attitude, right down to those menacing headlights that look like eyes staring at you, and that oversized grille with that black insert. Now what that does is really take this modestly sized vehicle and give it a lot of big boy attitude at the front end. Now just like with any Audi, you expect it to be horsepower and spunk under the hood, and the A3 delivers that just the same. Now it comes in two power plant options, either the 1.8 liter or 2.0, both inline 4 cylinders equipped with a turbocharger. Now on the 1.8, that's going to deliver around about 170 horses and 200 foot-pounds of torque. Now it's coupled with a 6-speed double clutch transmission with front wheel drive. Now if you go with the one we have here, the 2.0, that's going to up your horses around about 200 with 258 foot-pounds of torque. Now it comes with a double clutch as well, but on the Quattro model. Now what that all equates to at the end of the day is 0 to 60 numbers on the 1.8 being around about 7.3 seconds. Now when you go with the 2.0 like we have here, now it's definitely a lot more boot, scoot, and boogie, trimming about a second off of that, falling somewhere in the 6-second range. With any compact vehicle, one thing I think about right off the bat is legroom numbers. After all, I'm 6 foot plus tall, and really legroom has to be at a premium, not only the leather. Now by the numbers, this vehicle does quite well, actually about 42 inches of legroom up front, which is typically average across the board. Now when you swing around to the second row, it drops just a hair, but still decent at about 35 inches, really 37 kind of being true comfort, 35 not too bad. Now when you look at the overall design of this vehicle, I like the fact that it is pretty much straightforward and simple. Now this one have a lot of that aluminum brush kind of look and an overall sleek dash that we're going to look at just now. Now with this Audi, nothing is really typical, and most notable is right here on the dash and a huge pop-up screen. Now he's found something similar on the Q3 model, but that one didn't fold down like this one does, really making for an overall sleek design. Now as you sweep down, what you're going to notice is the central kind of command knob that you see on a lot of other vehicles like the BMWs and Mercedes, but what this knob does is really control everything on the screen with one little turn of the dial. Now it has a little quadrant, you press that, and what this pretty much does is make for an overall sleek design, minimizing the buttons and clutter and giving you pretty much straightforward ease of operation. Now, one area you're going to find more ease is in the climate control, really simplifying it all down to 3 knobs and a few buttons. Now, right across here is your typical climate control. No dialing by the number, but giving you a little bit of gradation in colors to kind of set your temperature. Now, right in the middle is the fan speed. None of them really take in kind of overall view because one's not bigger than the other, so it takes a little bit getting used to. Now, the biggest problem I found is that I actually reach up here to turn the volume down on the stereo. It's not here, it's actually down below. Now, one area that is a little cramped isn't actually the leg room, but right here at the cup holders. Now, they're positioned right in front of the gear shifter. Not really the biggest problem, but really this dash overhang being the biggest. Now, what you're going to notice is huge super gulps that everyone's getting actually going to kind of fit in here and teeter just a little bit. Now, average drinks and other ones will actually go in there and tuck just underneath the dash. So what you may have to do is kind of compromise on your drinking habits. Now, just to prove that 35 inches isn't that bad, I kind of climb back here just to make note. Now, the seating position in the front, I haven't cheated. It's actually where I want it when I'm driving. So once I get back here, I actually found 35 inches to feel quite a bit more. And where you're going to notice that really is in these niches on the back seats here. Really kind of allow those knees to give a little bit of breathing room. Now, what I found is really this is going to house kind of 4 adults quite easily. Now, I put my kids back here, and the only thing you're going to find there is the old traditional hump right between the back passengers. I mean, you're going to have to share a little bit of knee room left to right. Now, in this particular model, we did come with the old traditional key. Not a huge fault, but I really do like to keep this in my pocket and not have to fiddle with it. Now, the vehicle is unlocked, which allows you to walk up right up here and kind of press this electronic release. Now, this rear trunk really swings out of the way, and it gives you that typical kind of opening that you're going to experience. Now, by the numbers, this vehicle is going to offer about 10 cubic feet of space. Kind of maybe a little limited when it comes to cargo. Now, once you dive inside, it's going to be a huge cavern that's really going to kind of swallow everything in one fell swoop with just a modest opening from the outside. Now, one less thing to note, under the cargo floor, you're going to notice a nice full-size spare should you need it. That does it for this edition of Road Warrior and a test drive behind the wheel of the 2015 Audi A3. Now, what this vehicle really brings to the table is, of course, that compact sedan with premium qualities, and as always, it has that grip at the corners known as Quattro. Now, I'd like to thank you for watching this edition of Road Warrior, and as always, keep both hands on the wheel and eyes straight ahead.